Welcome in to the PHNX Fantasy Sports Show, presented by Underdog Fantasy. I'm your host, Shane Diefenbach, joined as always by Shawn and Espo. And Totri has come back to join us.
I love it.
How are you feeling, guys?
Scrumdiddlyumptious.
I feel like the third or the fourth wheel on an ASU show, like just awkward.
Well, there's 0 wheels in an ASU show.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, there are, but they're off the track.
There are wheels because the show is a wagon. But
I feel
it's
like the show's not necessarily a wagon. It's more of like Heelys.
It is
Ooh.
a freight train from hell. Is what
Espo,
PHNX
have
NFL
you ever
is.
used Heelys?
I have seen them. I have not used them.
They go insane.
At my age, I'd break a hip. It
Espo
wouldn't
on
be good.
wheels.
Espo on wheels. I don't know what that is, but it
I don't
sounds
know
like an
either,
awesome
but it
time.
kind of goes crazy.
Maybe like Espo podcasting from like a F1 car.
Wow.
You get the car, I'll do it.
All right,
Whatever
let's
it
do
takes.
Well, let's recap a little bit about what happened in Week 9. We'll start with the Colts because they made the biggest splash after the trade deadline, and that is appointing Jeff Saturday, no former coaching experience, as the head coach. Guys, just immediate reactions to that and how it affects your Jonathan Taylor owners of the world.
I think Frank Reich deserves better, but I mean, it's cool for Jeff Saturday. I guess like it's a win-win situation. Either you're good and you get to stay the head coach of the team that you spent most of your career with, or you're bad and no one had any expectations anyways, and then you just get to go back to being Jeff Saturday afterwards. So it's cool for that reason.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to do anything for the actual Colts. That season's, I think, done regardless of who their head coach is.
Yeah, I think initial reactions is Cliff is now the 30th worst head coach instead of the 31st.
Brandon Staley, 31st?
No, I got Josh McDaniels and then Jeff Saturday. But as far as Jonathan Taylor goes, I think they will finally start to utilize him once he gets healthy. Hopefully they've got somebody who's never called NFL plays. I believe he's only 30 years old, going to be starting to call the plays for the Colts. So we'll see what happens. It could be a success or it could be a dumpster fire.
It's Irsay making a mockery of the hiring process, overlooking 2 qualified assistant coaches that they had on the staff, spitting in the face of the Rooney Rule, all those things. I think it's a total and utter joke that they hired him. But since he's a former offensive lineman, maybe it does help the running game a little bit because that's the one position he understands that he can help with.
I like it seemed panicked, the decision in general, but then the press conference from Irsay even seemed panicked. Like he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
It was strange. And to Totri's point,
Wild man.
About them utilizing him, I disagree completely. Jonathan Taylor is dead and has been for a while. He is averaging 16, 17 carries a game. It's not working because that offensive line isn't intact. I think they're going to be using him, but it's just not going to work. So if you want to move on from Jonathan Taylor, don't hate it. Guys, as always, please drop your questions in the chat. We'll get to them at the end of the show. But for now,
I have a question for you guys.
Go for it.
Who would hire a guy straight from ESPN as into your head
Come on,
coaching
we don't need to do
position?
this.
Really?
Right now.
That's
We
what
don't
we're
need to do
doing?
this right now.
That's what we're doing right now?
We don't need to do
Oh, that's mean. Let's talk about the Bengals and Joe Mixon owners. They're pretty happy, huh? What's up with that?
Pretty happy is an understatement.
Fuck Joe Mixon. He cost me a fantasy game against Saul Bookman this week. Dropped 60 points in our league where apparently you just have to be on the field to get 10 points. And he was on the field a lot. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Joe
As
Mixon.
if he did nothing on the field when he was out there.
I don't want to talk about Joe Mixon, man. That hurt.
I mean, that's a hell of a game, and that's the kind of thing that, as Totri's talking about, swings an entire fantasy matchup with one guy. I had it happen earlier with Josh Allen this season. Mixon did it. It's special when you're the benefactor of a guy like that, and just demoralizing when you're on Totri's side.
Yeah, Panthers playing tonight. Obviously, they didn't really have a great time with Mr. Phillip Walker. That is his first name, P.J. Walker at quarterback. I took us higher on passing yards last week, and he finished with 6 and then got pulled. He is going to start tonight. Is there any fantasy outlook on this Panthers team?
There better be, because I have DJ Moore still, and Chuba Hubbard.
Let me ask you this, actually. Jonathan Taylor, by the way, upgraded to a full participant practice today, just right now. Let me ask you this. When you're playing fantasy football and you see a weather report, does it sway your decision at all?
Depends on the weather report.
Tonight's weather report.
No.
It's going to be raining. 10 to 15 mile an hour winds.
No.
No, I mean,
because both these teams can't pass the ball well anyways. So I feel like the rain, from my perspective, I don't think it's going to make it any worse. The only time that weather concerns me is if it's like snowing. That's the only time that I'm concerned about a passing game.
I'm the opposite. If it's like rainy and windy is when I would get concerned about passing. If it's snowing, like the Bills, for example, they can play their game in snow. It's not a problem. But if it's wet and windy, then it's going to ruin the passing game.
We played devil's advocate a little bit. Last time they played, there was no rain, 37-34. P.J. Walker threw for 317 yards and a touchdown. Mariota threw for 253 with 3 touchdowns. Is this game not going to be high scoring then?
I don't know what to make of the Panthers specifically, to be honest. It's Thursday Night Football, so I have a hard time thinking it's going to be high scoring. Plus the weather, I'm gonna lean towards no. It's not going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I'm not trusting PJ Walker and Marcus Mariota to put up big points in bad weather. This is going to be an ugly game, I think. Very much in line with some of those early season Thursday night games we saw. So if I'm an owner of anybody in this game, I'm probably avoiding playing them if I have other options.
Yeah, Aaron in the chat says, it affects my kicker streaming choices. That might be it. I agree with that. There's nothing worse than having a kicker when it starts blowing wind. Let's see. Dolphins and Bears. That was a fun game. Dolphins offense still wagging. Justin Fields broke a record. Justin Fields, QB1.
Unlocked.
Is he QB1?
Mr. Unlimited. The real Mr. Unlimited.
Would you start him if you had, if let's say, him or a guy like Kirk Cousins? A guy that will get you 18 points a game, or the unknown of Justin Fields?
In our league, I am most certainly starting Justin Fields.
Let's talk about regular fantasy.
I think I would start Justin Fields. Yeah, I just think he has.
See, this wasn't a fluke.
No. I think I don't think it's a fluke. Obviously, you haven't seen this all year, but I think that this offense and Justin Fields are now at a point where he is able to produce, even if the team isn't winning games. So I like him as a fantasy option.
Yeah, I do too. This is a guy that I would start, and this hurts. I can't believe I'm saying this. I would start him over Justin Herbert in just about every single scenario.
Well, yeah.
So if
no one to throw to right now.
No receivers for the Chargers, so that obviously impacts that. But I think what Justin Fields is able to do on the ground makes up for the sometimes inability for them to complete passes in that game.
Depends on the matchup for me. I mean, if your other quarterback on the roster has a more favorable matchup, I'd go with him. But Fields can do it both in primarily on the ground. But yeah, I'm basing it on matchup for me.
No one circles the wagon more. The New York Football Jets.
Yeah, apparently.
Jets winning 20-17. First question posing to you guys: do you trust anybody on the Jets offense to get you some fantasy points?
Garrett Wilson, got him in a couple leagues, and I know there was a certain point in the season when Zach Wilson came back where he just wasn't getting targets.
Zach Wilson
and catching
might
the
be
ball.
one of the worst quarterbacks that's winning games in football right now. He is so bad.
But Garrett Wilson over the last couple of weeks in non-PPR leagues has, I believe, scored 10 and 12 points respectively. So he's a guy, and probably the only guy on that offense that I would even remotely consider starting.
I'm not touching the Jets offense. I'm sorry.
No Michael Carter stock?
Yeah, I mean, again, it depends on the position I'm in fantasy, but generally speaking, I'm not very interested. I don't trust Zach Wilson, and if I can't trust the team's quarterback, then I'm going to be hesitant to trust anyone in their offense. I just don't think he is consistent enough.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Josh Allen might not play this coming week. Are we trusting receivers not named Stephon Diggs with Case Keenum at quarterback?
Yes.
If it does come to that.
Not a receiver, but I like Dawson Knox if it comes to that. I think big tight end, someone that you can rely on, kind of a safety valve, I guess. I like him in that situation. Otherwise, like an Isaiah McKenzie, Gabriel Davis, I don't really have much interest in that situation.
Let's not forget Case Keenum wasn't all that bad at times in his career. So in a spot start in an offense that's as good as the Bills, I wouldn't be overly concerned. If I'm an owner of Josh Allen, which I am in one of my leagues, I'd be very concerned because I've had what he has, and it was so debilitating at one point that I had to have the surgery on it because my hand started to curl. And so, and I still don't have full strength in my hand. So the UCL, while it's not a well-known thing, it is a serious thing to deal with. So
Am I crazy or did Case Keenum win a playoff game?
Same thing, guys. Same thing.
it is Josh Allen right here.
Didn't Case Keenum win a playoff game for the Vikings? He's the reason that Miracle in Minneapolis. He's the one that threw it to Diggs.
Was he?
I think he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs, they've got themselves
They
a
do
little bit
have
of a
a
connection.
I didn't even realize
Look
that.
at Totri
Turn
bringing
me up
that.
for it.
Regardless of who's at quarterback, I like the Bills this week. I think the Vikings are fraudulent, but that's
All right, last game we'll talk about. Derrick Henry's washed, right, guys? He's washed. That's what people were telling me when I was drafting him in a fantasy league in the first round. He's washed.
He was for
Definitely.
the beginning.
And he wasn't washed.
He's a
just
king.
for the beginning
This
of
is
the
what
He's a
Nicole.
king.
This is what what's his name does. This is what Luka Doncic does. This is what Derrick Henry does. Just takes a little bit to turn him up a little bit.
Comes into the season fat.
Yeah, takes a little bit to turn him up. So that game was one of the most bizarre games I've ever watched the Chiefs play specifically. Spent prime time under the lights, but is the Titans defense a legit scare when you're starting somebody on the opposing offense? Because they were defensive stalwarts most of the night.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, who are you starting on the Chiefs for the most part?
Well, not the Chiefs. I'm saying in the future, looking ahead.
I mean, but my point being, like, the Chiefs, like, you look at Patrick Mahomes or Kelsey, like, they still got theirs. Kelsey had 106 receiving yards, 10 receptions. So, like, I think
but you're not going to be in the position
Juju
to
had a
start
nice
a
day,
Kelsey
too.
every game.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, who do the Titans play this week? Like,
I think they play the Giants.
they play the Broncos
Oh,
this
the
week.
Broncos.
So Courtland Sutton, you
So,
starting
no,
Courtland
I'm not starting anyone on the Broncos, but I wouldn't start anyone on the Broncos.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be worried in general if I had Broncos.
Does the
players, so.
Titans defense give you some pause when starting a fringe guy?
A fringe
Yes.
guy, yes.
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 Yeah, I'd say so.
Are the Chiefs very good?
Are they very
Are they
good?
still very
Yes.
good?
Yeah,
Good.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad we all agree on that.
but I hate the Chiefs.
Thanks for that, Tony.
Yeah, I can't say Chiefs and say I don't hate.
All right. Well, let's
hate
get into our winners and woofs. I'll go ahead and start with my woof. We'll start woofs first and go winners. My woof is NFL offenses in general because
Oh, man.
I think the under has hit in 70% of these games. Like, just from a scoring perspective, they are not scoring as many points. The cover two is dominating NFL offenses, and teams are still having trouble to figure it out unless you have a smart head coach. And a lot of smart head coaches are taking advantage of that. We see that with the Eagles. You know, people say they're not that good, but they scheme players open. And when you're running this impossible thing, when you have two high safeties and you're making the corner cover the quarterback or the receiver in the flat, there's really nothing you can do. So if you have a good coach, you're fine. So my real loser and my real woof is NFL offenses without good coordinators and head coaches.
That's fair.
Yeah, my wolf is Sam Ellinger. Not only because he kind of sucks, but also he is now in a position where it's not going to get any better because now he has a head coach who's never coached in the NFL before. So not really put in a position to succeed to begin with, and it just got worse. Always going to have love for Sam Ellinger, but I'm not feeling good about his NFL career right now.
I'm going to keep it in the AFC South with Titans wide receivers because they still don't know what's going on with their quarterback situation. Derrick Henry's getting 25, 30 carries a game. And against the Chiefs in a game that was not necessarily back and forth, but the Titans led all the way, they didn't have a single completion to a wide receiver. So that doesn't bode well for future weeks.
Treylon Burks is coming back.
Yeah,
That's
still wouldn't touch him.
That's fun.
Wouldn't touch him.
So my woof was going to be people who won't go through with the punishment in a league, but I decided to go with Robert Woods. It was my woof. I had a bunch of receivers on buys. He was my last guy on the roster that I had to put in. I was in a close matchup, and I got 0 freaking points out of him. So.
Just as Totri said, get away from those Titans wide.
Honestly, everybody in the
receivers.
AFC South, get away from all the receivers and go for all of the running backs.
Mm-hmm. My winner is somebody who's probably been my winner before. It's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My good God, he just finds ways to impress me every single week. I know the Saints are their defense is whatever you think about them, but there's still a lot of talent on that team. He never tries to do too much anymore, and it's so impressive. This team is steadily creeping up as a Super Bowl contender, and obviously they're the juggernauts in the AFC, but and they aren't healthy. They're never healthy, and they still find ways to win. So my winner is basically the entire Baltimore Ravens team right now.
My winner is the parents of Shane and Brandon Zylstra, two brothers who got called up from the practice squad to the Lions active roster, and then Shane Zylstra ended up getting the game-winning touchdown for the Lions. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool for the parents, I have to.
You have them in fantasy?
No, I do not. I've not been watching the Lions. The Lions practice squad for my waiver wire. But yeah, you got two brothers who made their NFL debuts in the same week, and then one of them scored a game-winning touchdown for a team that has been struggling recently. So that's a pretty cool moment this past week.
Do you think it was contractually obligated to bring them both up?
Yeah, it's like Giannis and Thanasis. Yeah. You can't have one without the other.
Who's the third brother?
Costas,
yeah.
My winner is Dicker the kicker. Cameron Dicker, Chargers kicker, who hit the game winner against the Falcons on a Wednesday. I guess his agent had called him and asked him how fast he could get on a plane. He said within the hour, but he was kind of bummed because he was apparently supposed to go to a Carrie Underwood concert that night, but ended up working out for him and the Chargers, and I believe he has kicked 3 game winners across the NFL this season, all of which have gone through.
Yeah, and 2 with different teams.
Yeah. He's insane. Dicker the kicker, baby.
Texas, hook on.
There's a greght mic'd up moment of Calvin Inouye asking everyone what his name was. Espo, your winner?
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
2 rushing touchdowns, 93 yards. He's a guy that is real hit or miss, but when he hits, I mean, a couple weeks ago he had 119 yards and a touchdown. He saved me in one league this week, so he gets my win there.
Right. Well, guys, you can, if you like a winner or a woof, and you have a favorite or least favorite player, head over to the Underdog Fantasy app with their Pick'em game. New customers can sign up using that promo code PHNX. Underdog will double your first deposit up to 100 beans. It's that easy. All you have to do is look like Marcus Mariota. His total yards tonight is set at 193. Take his higher or his lower, and you can pick all those together. And if you get 4 right, you get 10 times your money. You get 5 right, you get 20 times your money. You can win 20 times your money in a single night. It's just that easy with Underdog Fantasy. It just spices it up a little bit. Guys, Totri, have you cooled down a little bit on Underdog?
I have cooled down a little bit, but look, I had, I think it was 3. It was a pick 'em with 3 players last night. I had Tyrese Halliburton higher than 19.5 points, which was a sweat. Literally down to the last 30
bucket of the game.
Yeah. Had that. I had OG. Oh man, what's his?
OG Anunoby.
Yeah, I had his higher 34 fantasy points. He had 28 at halftime, ended with like 52. And then I had Zion higher 35.5 PRA, which did not hit, but I had insurance, so got the money back.
I thought you were gonna say BMI.
No, you can search in the App Store or click the link in the show notes. Sign up with the promo code PHNX, and Underdog will double that first deposit up to $100. It's Underdog Fantasy, promo code PHNX. Get in on the action today. Guys, what do we like tonight in the NFL, in the NBA, in the NHL, or this weekend?
Justin Fields, higher than 59.5 rushing yards.
Love it.
He had damn near 178, I think, last game. Now they're playing the Lions, who is the second worst rush defense in the league, ahead of only the Texans. And I mean, this is just kind of where this offense has gone, is letting Justin Fields run the football. So I think he hits that easily. If he hit that in the first half, I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, Justin Fields higher than 59.5 rush yards.
I got 2. I got Cordero Patterson higher than 55.5 rushing yards tonight. I think he goes for 100 tonight. I think the Falcons dominate from start to finish, and I think he's the reason. He might find the end zone a couple times. And then my personal favorite, I'm known to have at least one weird pick. I got Herbert Jones, higher than 15.5 PRA tonight. So
love me some Herb Jones. Espo?
You know my XFL obsession, so this is going to
Phillip?
It's going to be Phillip PJ Walker, higher than 6.5 rushing yards.
What do you think the J is?
James.
Junior?
Phillip Jr.
Phillip Jr. Walker?
Before I get to mine, guys, I see we have a lot of questions in the chat. We'll get to those at the end of the show. Keep dropping them. I promise we'll get to them after our last segment. My favorite one tonight is Cordero, but it's over or higher than half a rushing plus receiving touchdown. So you get either of those. They use them a lot of different ways. Even if there was a passing touchdown sprinkled in there, that'd feel a little bit better. But I think he finds the end zone tonight. It's one of my favorite picks for today.
I think the J might be Junior. Because his dad is Philip Walker Sr.
Well, there you go.
And so I think the J might be Philip Jr.
Philip Jr. Walker.
You're welcome.
That goes crazy.
That I think because there's no middle name listed.
I also really like Noah Fant, who Russell Wilson was acquired for, or other way around. They acquired him for Russell Wilson in this trade. He's been playing really well. He led the team in receiving yards and the game in receiving yards against the Cardinals last weekend.
That's crazy.
With 96. A lot of it due to a 50-yard reception, but they're starting to use him in different ways. I like his higher 27.5 receiving yards this weekend in Germany against Tampa Bay.
Munich,
Should be really fun.
Are the Seahawks a wagon?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, in the context of that division, they certainly are. That's for damn
true.
sure.
I think they are. Well, guys, we got something special to do. Put together a little game.
Love games.
If you guys are familiar with Jeopardy. So, without further ado, it's PHNX Jeopardy time.
I just love all overseer Shane just peering on us from the corner.
Phenomenal.
While we're setting up, guys, it's pretty simple. There are 5 categories. We'll get into the categories in a second. Some with pictures, some with just questions, some about fantasy football, some about not fantasy football. Pugs and hugs. Welcome in. Yeah,
Anytime, Pugs and Hugs.
it took me a while to make this graphic, if you can't tell. I mean, really some sweat went into this.
I like how it turned
I
out.
love it.
And you being big like that is fun.
Are you guys good at game shows?
This will be my first game show. So
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good trivia guy. I'm pretty good at playing actual Jeopardy.
Wow,
When I
okay.
watch a show, I know random facts.
I've been in the audience of Price is Right. I think that's
Oh,
as close
really?
as I've come. Yeah.
That goes crazy.
did you have a number and everything?
Oh,
damn.
yeah.
I competed in a college version of Survivor. So if that
I
counts
have
as a
heard
game
this
show-
story about 4 times.
It's not I haven't told the story. It's just a fact.
Did you get voted out?
Yes.
Then I've heard the story.
Is that
Okay.
where you just sit outside in the snow at Syracuse?
No,
Is that what it
there's
is?
various challenges,
Whoever gets
both
frostbite last.
physical and mental. I've had to run upstairs. I've had to do
Okay.
trivia.
Hello. Welcome
Oh,
to PHNX
whoa.
Jeopardy.
Whoa.
Presented by Underdog Fantasy.
I just started singing the Family Feud song.
Yeah, that's it. Well, what is your favorite game show, contestants? Sean,
Wait,
what's your favorite game show?
favorite game show?
Yeah.
Ooh. I was a huge what's the double the no whammies show?
Press your luck.
Press your
Press Your
luck.
Luck. I love
no
that
whammies,
show.
no whammies, no
Yeah,
whammies.
Stop.
Game Show Network. I love the Game Show Network
Oh,
and
man.
Price is Right. Price is Right's iconic.
I'm going to go Wipeout counts as a game show, right?
That's more. I feel like it's more Survivor.
That's more reality show.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about Deal or No Deal?
Yes.
Yes.
that's a game show.
Deal or
That's a
No
great
Deal
one.
then.
Good
Loved
one.
it.
It's Price is Right. If I could ever play Plinko on
Plinko?
Price
Yes.
is Right,
Greatest
I could
single-
die a happy man.
Yeah.
That will go crazy. And Minute to Win It. Loved it. I think I could have done better than most people on that.
All right. Well, so here's how this works. There's only one board in this PHNX Jeopardy because time allotted. There's no commercials and stuff. It's just one board and a final Jeopardy.
Okay.
So collect your points. Obviously, you know the rules of Jeopardy. If you get the question right, you get the points. If you don't, you lose those. So
Okay. How do we buzz in?
Yeah, is there like a buzzing or is it? Oh, that's all we just
Yeah.
make
Don't have to
noises?
say the name, just make the noise.
you don't have to say your name. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I thought
Okay, we can say. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. Say your guys' names.
all of our buzzers may sound
Shawn?
too much alike.
Yeah.
Wait, that's how you. Oh, that's how
You say your own name.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totis.
Okay.
Shawn.
Well, let's pull up the board and let's see what we got first.
Whoa.
Oh man.
First board is fantasy. Or first category is fantasy football. Second category. So fantasy football is fantasy football related questions. Trivia.
Okay.
Second category is words in press coverage. So it'll be a definition, and the answer is a word you can spell out of the letters in press coverage. Do you understand?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Say that one more time?
Damn, Shane.
So words in press coverage.
Okay.
That category is words that you can spell out of the letters inside of press coverage.
Okay.
So anagram, whatever. The third category is who's that player mon? It's who's that Pokemon? But
At first, I thought you said who's that player's mom?
no.
I was just like,
Shane
eh.
Daniels.
It's
Zach Wilson.
we'll show you a picture with the player silhouetted out, and you're gonna have to tell me who that is. Fourth category, underdog breeds. It's just dog breeds. Tell me what dog this is. And the last category is fantasy, not football though. Just
These
fantasy,
are all Shane's fantasies.
fantasy questions. So, without further ado, we'll start with Espo.
Can I take the pen is mightier for 500?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will take fantasy, not football, for 300.
A small imaginary being of human form that has magical powers.
Espo.
Espo?
A fairy.
Espo?
What is a fairy?
What is a fairy is correct.
We're gonna get
I
slaughtered.
wasn't sure if we were
So
going
go
like
ahead and give
gnome
Espo 300 points on the Bizord. And we'll go into the next one. Espo, you still control the board. Escape. Yeah. Use the escape
Can I
key. There we go.
get fantasy, not football, for 500?
Ooh,
Damn.
going big.
Big.
All right. A monstrous fire-breathing hybrid creature composed of different animal parts
Shawn.
usually depict... Shawn?
What is a Gryffindor?
Incorrect. That is a house in Harry Potter.
Oh, I know.
With the head of a goat
God
protruding
damn it.
from its back. Take 500 points away from Sean. Sean, you have another answer.
I do. What is
ahead.
it? Griffin?
Incorrect. Take
Yeah.
500 more points away from Sean.
Oh,
He's now at
damn.
negative 1,000. Do you guys have any guesses?
Oh, goat shooting from his back? Yeah, I should have.
You should have waited.
Yeah, I went
Nothing?
for it.
Okay. The answer was a chimera.
Oh yeah,
Never
there's
even
no
heard of
shot.
that.
I was gonna get that.
That is why it's a 500.
Nice job, Sean.
So currently,
Tried.
Espo in the lead with 300 points.
Totri in
Totri in second with
by
0. And Sean in last with negative 1,000. Espo, you still control the board.
Words and press coverage for 300.
Words and
Shane.
press coverage for 300. The action of going out or leaving a place.
Espo.
Espo,
What is exit?
is there an X in
No,
press
there's
coverage?
not.
No, there's not. Take 300 away from
Going
Espo.
out.
3, 2, 1. Bam, bam. What is egress?
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Espo. Well, let's give Totri a chance.
I forgot
Totri-
the premise of the.
Yeah, it's okay. Totri.
Let's go. Underdog breeds for 100.
Underdog breeds for 100. A large dog often used as a guard dog or
Shawn.
guide dog. Sean.
What is a German Shepherd?
What is a German Shepherd is correct.
Nice.
Sean.
I thought we were going to get a picture, so I was really thrown off for a
To
second.
900 points. Sean, you control the board.
Let's just go for it. Underdog breeds for 500.
Underdog breeds for 500. A large dog originally bred and used for working dog or as a working dog for fishermen. They excel at water rescue / life saving because of their muscular build, thick double coat, webbed paws, and swimming abilities. Does anybody have an answer?
I feel like I know it, but I don't.
No.
I'll go Shawn.
Sean?
I feel like it's got to be like a water dog or something. What is like a Portuguese water dog?
That is incorrect.
God,
Which out here making up dog names?
There's
You
water
guys wanna
dogs.
guess on this?
I know they
Hell no.
exist.
Espo.
Espo?
What is a Labrador?
Incorrect. The correct answer is what is a Newfoundland dog?
Look, I don't even got to answer. Y'all just
Yeah,
lose
this
points.
is tragic.
Yeah, this is crazy. Totri's
tragic.
never going to answer a single question. It's still going to win.
We'll go with
That's
we'll,
a real
we'll go with
Totri
Sean. Sean,
move.
you can still control the board.
Who's that player, Mon, for 500?
Really? You're gonna
Yeah,
go
I got to come back. I got to do something.
There's time.
All right, here's the picture. Let's pull it up. Who's that player on 5-1?
Oh, boy.
Who's that player on?
Totri.
Totri.
Who is Buda Baker?
Oh my God.
Oh no. No.
That's so bad.
Yeah,
I know who it
The
is. but
silhouette. Who is?
Oh.
You can guess again.
I know. I gotta think.
So this is
Espo.
Espo.
Who is Chad Ochocinco?
Incorrect.
No.
This is a very famous picture, but nobody remembers his name. And this
yeah,
is why.
I knew this because I
He's
feel
a
like
tight end.
I don't know.
Who is Jerome Simpson? You can go ahead and pull up the actual picture.
never was gonna.
You're
Never
right.
gonna get that.
Jerome Simpson. That's
For
why it
some
was for
reason-
500.
Yeah.
Can we come back to the
For some reason, my
contestants?
brain was going to the pick six that just happened.
Look at these losers. Come on.
Hold
This
on
is a hard
second.
game.
This is a
Totri
hard
doesn't
game.
look at the stadium to
It's a hard
notice it's a
game. It's a
Bengal.
hard
Yeah.
game.
Doesn't notice that was a guy, Carlos Dansby, who's not on the Cardinals
That was a minute
anymore.
ago. That was a minute ago.
All right.
Hand up. Hand up.
All right. Well, let's see what the point total is right now. What's our point total? Sean, you just missed that one, correct?
I didn't answer.
Oh, who answered? Espo, you answered?
I
answered.
Oh, Totri and Espo answered.
Let's
They're
go.
both- So what's the score total right now, Jacob? You can just yell at me.
The score total is currently Shawn minus 1,400.
Oh my God.
Espo minus 1,000.
Okay.
Yes.
And Totri.
minus 500.
It's a war of
Okay,
attrition.
Totri in first.
Let's go.
You know
I
what?
need to control the board. This has
is
never
fair.
happened.
This
I'm
is
controlling
fair.
the board. Fantasy
Totally fair.
football for 100. Let's make it a little bit easier on these guys.
For 100?
100. He finished as tight end 6 as a rookie last year, but is currently tight end 19. And all these are all in PPR formats.
As a rookie?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Totri.
Totri.
Who is Kyle Pitts?
Who is Kyle
Oh,
Pitts
yeah.
is correct.
Duh.
Totri.
That's
with
so
100 points.
obvious.
Good job, Totri.
Got one.
Totri down to negative 400. And in the lead, Totri, you control the board.
Let's go fantasy football for 200.
Fantasy football for 200. This player holds the record for most fantasy points scored by a wide receiver in a season with 439.5.
Totri.
Totri.
Who is Cooper Kupp?
Who is Cooper Kupp is correct.
Let's go.
As soon as you said your name, I knew it.
Totri down to negative 200. Totri, you control the board still.
Let's go.
Up to negative 200.
Fantasy football 300.
Fantasy football for 300. A first ballot Hall of Famer who retired in 2012. Sean.
Who is Megatron?
Incorrect. Let me finish reading the question. A first ballot Hall of Famer who retired in 2012 that holds the holds the record for the best fantasy season
Megatron retire?
ever.
Totri.
Totri.
Who is LaDainian Tomlinson?
Who is LaDainian Tomlinson is correct.
Let's go.
Damn.
Totri.
I did not know that.
I was going to go Sebastian Janikowski.
All right, Totri, you still control the board.
Fantasy football 400.
Fantasy football for 400. A quarterback who had the second most fantasy points by a quarterback ever in 2019.
Totri.
Totri.
Who is Lamar Jackson?
Who is Lamar Jackson is correct. Totri, the only person that knows anything about football, apparently.
Which is good
This is
because
so
it's not like this is a
abstract.
fantasy show.
I just
These
don't
are-
know years.
These are not abstract.
Well, no, I'm just not good with time.
That's fair.
Fantasy football 500.
Fantasy football for 500. This is abstract. This wide receiver appeared in 3 games, scoring 0 fantasy points in 2010, but broke out the following year with 208 fantasy points and scored the first touchdown in Super Bowl 42. Or 46, rather.
Totri.
Totri?
Who is Mario Manningham?
2010. Fantasy points in 2010. The following year, so it would be the 2011 Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have my years right.
Espo,
Espo?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, my goodness. He wasn't even in the league yet. The correct answer, you're not going to guess?
No.
Who is Victor Cruz?
I've met him. Damn, that's crazy.
I had the right team.
I have a
just hit
picture
the
with
wrong-
that man.
You and Totri
Receiver.
both picked the wide receivers on the team,
I
but it
just-
wasn't the correct one.
I don't know my years in Super Bowls and how that all aligns.
You're trash, that's why.
You don't
That's
know
'cause my team's
anything.
Not in Super Bowls.
Totri, you still control the board.
Let's go. Who's that player, Mon? 100.
Who's that player, Mon, for 100? See a picture. Let's see who it is. Who's that player?
Oh, Shawn.
Sean?
Who is Mark Sanchez?
Who is Mark Sanchez
it.
is correct. The butt fumble.
Yeah, that's
The
iconic.
greatest
That's so-
pictures in NFL history. Now, we'll go. Sean, control the board.
I will go. I'll go. Who's that player? I'm on 200.
Who's that player, Mon, for 200? See the picture. Jacob not on his game. Who's that in the green?
Espo.
Oh, Shawn.
Espo?
Damn.
Oh, it's
Oh no way.
Oh my
No,
god.
I got
Shawn. I said Shawn first.
No, hold on. Let
Oh
him,
my
yeah,
God.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Who is
3.
Tyree?
And, can't give you the full points.
Shawn. Who is David Tyree?
Who is David Tyree is correct.
There's another one.
Yeah, it's the green one. He said in the green.
Yeah. Who's the other one, Saul?
It was Rodney Harris.
Nice. Saul gets 300 points.
You want to come fill in?
Sean
for me,
Sean got it and Espo got it
Oh,
wrong.
I'm not in last. Did you take points away from Espo?
All right. Sean,
Espo.
you control the board.
Who's that player, Mon? 300.
Who's that player,
I feel
Mon,
like it's a
for
Jamaican accent.
300.
Who's
Not a
that
Pokemon
player,
related.
Mom?
Who's that player, Mon? Who's that player in the green?
Sean.
Despo.
Who is Odell Beckham Jr.?
Wrong. Who's that player, Mon, in the green?
Totri.
Totri.
Is it George Pickens?
Who is George Pickens?
go.
Is correct. The
I know,
red herring worked.
as soon as I saw that, I was like, that game wasn't against the Browns.
Yep. I knew I would pick. I would
Honestly,
put that
if
up.
you didn't go first and fuck it up, then I would
I
have.
just couldn't think of Pickens' name as soon as I got it wrong.
All right, Totri, you control the board.
Let's go fantasy, not football 100.
Fantasy, not football, for 100. A giant flying reptile that tends to symbolize chaos or evil.
Espo.
Espo.
What is a dragon?
What is a dragon is correct. Espo
They
gets 100
symbolize
points.
chaos or evil?
Espo
Yeah, they do.
out here
Never
only
heard
getting
of it.
points on mythical creatures.
Espo, you control the board.
Fantasy, not football for 200.
Fantasy, not football, for 200. A monster shaped half man, or half like a man and half like a
Sean.
bull. Sean.
What is it, Minotaur?
What is a minotaur is correct.
Yeah.
200 points to Sean. Sean, you control the board.
I guess we'll go fantasy, not football. Let's finish the category.
Fantasy,
for
not
400.
football, for 400. A mythical reptile with a lethal gaze or breath hatched by a serpent from a chicken's egg.
Oh, I know this. I know it. I 100% know it, and I can't think of what the word is. That's tragic.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is a basilisk? Was the answer we were looking for.
We
Harry
had this on
Potter.
our Sun Devils draft.
Yeah, we did have this. I know. Gerald's upset. All right. Shawn, you still control the board.
Words in press coverage for 100 points.
Words in press coverage for 100. A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance.
Oh, Shawn.
Shawn?
What is ego?
What is ego is correct.
I was going to say that, and I was like,
see-
wait, is there a G in press?
And again, you can spell ego out of all the letters in press coverage. That's how this category works. Shawn.
Let's go words in press coverage for 200.
Words in press coverage for 200. To touch or stroke gently or lovingly. To touch or stroke gently.
Who's Shawn?
Shawn?
What is
Who's Shawn?
Here's Shawn.
What is caress?
What is to caress is correct.
Damn.
Nice, Shawn.
I ain't even
there we
touch
go.
this category.
All right. Shawn, you still control the board.
Let's go words in press coverage for 400.
Words in press coverage for 400. Rough or loose in texture or grain.
What is Shawn?
Shawn.
God damn it. What is coarse?
What is course is correct.
Damn.
Shawn on fire.
3 to the dome,
Shawn,
baby.
you still control the board.
Let's finish the
Syracuse
category.
education.
Finish the
500.
category. Words in press coverage for 500. The cooked or pickled flower bud of a prickly southern European shrub used to flavor food.
What?
Yep, I knew somebody would know this, but nobody on the board. No. Espo, no. Espo's cheating. He does not get the answer. 3,
Bud of
2,
a prickly southern.
1. Lindsay, go ahead, answer.
Prickly pear.
That is so fucking wrong.
I was like, there's no shot that's true.
Can you spell that in press coverage?
The answer, for those of you who didn't hear it, Lindsay said prickly pear
After
with
being incredibly confident
the
about it, too.
utmost confidence. The correct answer that we are looking for is what is capers?
I don't know if I've ever
Them
had
and prickly
capers.
pears so much.
Yeah,
alike.
so much alike. Let's check.
I'm blue collar.
Let's
so
come
I've
back
never
to
had capers.
us. How are we feeling, guys?
I feel a lot better after that category, to be
Yeah.
honest.
When you get on a heater, man. When you get on a
when
heater,
I
it's
get hot, I
electric.
get hot. I've been cold for most of this, but I'm warming up.
COVID brain sucks. That's all I'm saying.
Excuses are the nails of
well-
the house of failure.
Well, guys, we will get to all of the questions that you guys had at the start of the show, at the end of the show after this. But for now, we got to finish. Let's get an update on the scoreboard. Jacob, what do we got?
It is Shawn minus 600, Espo minus 1600, and Totri 300.
Totri in the lead with 300
This would be
points.
an
Still in it, baby.
All-time bag fumble by Totri if he loses.
4
Don't
category.
put that kind of pressure on me.
4 questions
Name the
left
game.
and a final Jeopardy. You can wager up to 1,000 more of what you don't have. So if you
I
have
forgot
negative
about
points,
fun.
you can still wager 1,000. But if you have 300 points, you can wager 1,300, and so on. Shawn, you still control the board. Where are you going?
Let's go. Who's that player mon for 400?
Who's that player mon for 400? Let's see the final picture of this category. Who's that player mon?
I know it, and I can't.
Come on, guys. Iconic NFL photo.
Yeah, I know who it is. And
Espo.
Espo.
Who is John Elway?
Who is John Elway is correct.
I would have
the
never gotten
helicopter.
That is not.
In the
John
Super
Elway.
Bowl. Come
It
on,
is in the
boys.
Super Bowl. There we
Did
go.
this
not
look
alive
like a
for
Super
that
Bowl
Super
that
Bowl.
played when we were watching football?
When we were alive?
How do you not?
Just saying, man.
How about
right.
you know
What
your
year was
history?
that Super Bowl?
Respect your elders, Totri.
Keep it in check.
What is Totri's an asshole for 5?
Correct. All right, Espo, you control the
I'll give
board.
you that.
Where are you going?
Underdog breeds for 200.
Underdog
Shane.
breeds for 200. A thickly coated compact sled dog of medium size and
Shawn.
great endurance. Shawn.
What is a husky?
What is a husky is correct. Shawn,
Shawn.
200 points.
I'm a dog guy, kind of.
You
You're a
are a
dog guy?
dog. Shawn, where are you going?
Let's go 300.
Underdog breeds for 300. A small, alert,
Shawn.
and agile Shawn.
I
3,
messed up. Was it
2,
Akita?
1.
What is an Akita?
Wrong.
I
Take
messed
those
up.
points away from Shawn. A small, alert, and agile dog bred for hunting from Japan.
From Japan.
5, 4, 3, 2. What is a Shiba Inu? Is the correct answer. Final one. Let's see it. Underdog breeds for 400. A sturdy hunting dog with a long body, short legs, and big ears.
Shawn.
Shawn.
What is a dachshund? I knew that was Shawn.
What? Dachshund?
Who's hunting with a weird dog?
Stop it. Shawn, you want to lose another 400 points?
Yeah, because I can't win at this point. What is a corgi?
Wrong.
Hunting dog!
Do you guys have any guesses?
No.
3, 2, 1. What is a basset hound?
Oh my god!
You guys.
Everyone is
Big
freaking
ears.
out
You
around.
guys.
I think we're going to have to
said a
do this
wiener
more
dog.
often and not just on the fantasy show because people need to talk, apparently. Guys, it's been a pleasure of doing this round, but it's time for Final Jeopardy. Are you guys ready? There's one question. I'll give you guys 30 seconds to answer it. Write it down
Wait,
and
we have
slack
to
it
write
to me.
down? Oh,
We write it down and slack it to you.
Slack
okay?
it to me. DM
with our points that we're wagering, right?
with just everyone's wagering Does anybody have positive points right now?
Totri.
Totri does. So you can wager 1,000 plus whatever you have, or you can wager nothing. Wager up to 1,000 if you don't have any points.
Okay.
Do we have the music? Well, he can find it. It's in.
Na, na, na.
Here's the music. Your final Jeopardy question.
You can do it.
Boom.
There it is. Final Jeopardy. Here we go. Let's see what the question is.
I'm terrified.
It's in the board, and then you click on the. There it is. Final Jeopardy. Which team in 2014 had no wide receiver catch a single touchdown pass, but finished the year 9-7? Everybody, look behind them. Make sure they're not cheating. You have 30 seconds, starting now.
Oh no!
Make sure they're not limit.
I'm guessing. I feel like I know this.
Go ahead and run it back.
I feel like I know this. I did know this at one point, and I
15
don't remember.
seconds.
I sent a guess.
I
But
sent a guess.
I knew this at one point. Damn.
You sent it to me?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Come back to me, Jacob. We have our answers. Espo, who is wagering everything, says the Titans. Incorrect. Totri, who's wagering 200 points, said the Houston Texans. Incorrect. Shawn DePaz, wagering all of his points, said the Falcons. That is incorrect. It was the Kansas City Chiefs. That makes Totri the winner of PHNX's first Jeopardy.
With how many negative points?
Actually, 100 positive points.
Oh, okay.
With 100 positive points, guys. Pleasure playing.
Play me in real Jeopardy.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's offensive to me.
You did a
This was
terrific
real.
job with
This
this.
was real Jeopardy.
real.
I just need
Jeopardy.
more like abstract, like U.S. history facts,
Yeah,
and then
that's fair.
I'm
Okay.
a wagon.
All right, well, let's just let's
me
get back
state
into
capitals.
our regular format.
Dog walk everyone in state capital.
Thank you. That was PHNX Jeopardy.
You can dog
While we
us in
change
that.
back the cameras, guys, we're going to be answering your questions in just a few moments. Make sure to get them in the chat if you haven't already. If you asked them earlier in the show, we have them saved, and we will answer them.
See that guy on the far
To our
right?
best power.
I'm pretty sure one of the categories could have been Espo's life, and I still wouldn't have started the category.
What did you? Sean's breakfast. What is
Hello.
waffles?
What is Burrito Express?
What is Burrito Express every morning? Okay, let's get into our first question that was in the chat today. Producer Jacob. Cousins or Danny Dimes? Ooh. I like Danny Dimes this week.
Who do the Giants have this week?
Somebody weird.
They have
The Texans.
I would take Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
100%. You're going Cousins
Yeah.
against that Bills defense?
against a very injured Bills.
Yeah,
defense.
but
although
the
Milano's
Texans
back,
love giving up rushing yards, especially to quarterbacks.
I give
Yeah.
up Danny Dimes.
I think I'm going Danny Dimes. Yeah, the Texans are the worst rush defense in the league.
Mo Diesel
Milano,
also asked Brian Robinson, Deion Jackson, or Rashad White. I think Rashad White takes a huge leap forward in touches this week.
Rashad White, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Shad.
I'm in on Shad.
yeah, I'd probably go Rashad as well.
Same.
He also asked Allen Robinson or Mac Hollins. Both I would avoid.
If you have to go, I'd go Hollins.
Yeah.
Because Darren Waller, or no, that's the wrong team, right?
Yeah, Mac
Texans?
Hollins is on the
He's on the Raiders?
Yeah.
Then yeah, Hunter Renfro and Darren Waller both. I
Darren
believe,
Waller's on
are-
IR
Someone
now.
from the Texans?
Yeah.
Who? Because I was thinking the same thing.
There is a guy on the Texans with Collins, might be his last name.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
Nico
Yeah,
Collins.
sorry.
Mac
But yeah,
Hollins, Nico
I'm going with
Collins.
Hollins.
Aaron in the chat asked, should I drop Pacheco or Chase Edmonds to pick up Terrace Marshall?
I don't want
Hell
anything
no.
to do
You know
with-
it's
with
Terrace and
Panthers
not
offense.
Terrence? Isn't that fun?
It's
Is it
Terrace?
fun or just
It's Terrace.
odd?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from Panthers offense.
I love
If I can
Pacheco.
avoid it. I like Pacheco too.
I like Pacheco
calling him
and
Pikachu.
Edmonds. to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
Pikachu's good.
He's a little electric rat.
I'd drop Edmonds on.
Well, yeah,
in that
Edmonds.
offense.
I would if you can stash Edmonds, I wouldn't hate it just because he might be used in this Broncos offense better than he was because the Dolphins offense was just not for him.
Yeah.
This Broncos offense, there's a need at running back. Like I could see it working.
That's why I
so.
would stash him at least.
Yeah, I don't know. Terrace Marshall and that whole. Phillip Jr., I'm sorry, you're just not a very good quarterback. We'll move on to Clamped Easy's question. Pollard or DJ Moore? Buy Tony Pollard stock.
Oh my God,
Tony
yes.
Pollard, Tony Pollard, Tony Pollard.
Again, starting DJ Moore this week out of necessity, but otherwise I would stay away from Panthers offensive players.
Agreed.
Tony Pollard should be the number one running back in Dallas.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Jerry
I've-
Jones has an affinity with Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. Travis says, I need a defense this week. It's between Seahawks, Cardinals, or Saints.
I picked up the Cardinals.
Cardinals have the Rams.
I'm starting the
Who are
Seahawks
not-
this
They-
week.
they don't
who
know
have
what
their
they're doing.
quarterback, most likely.
Who do the Saints have?
Somebody weird.
They just have the Steelers.
Ooh. And
I think the Cardinals are they have, like, if I'm ranking the way I'm starting these, I would go Seahawks 1, Saints 2,
Really?
Cardinals
I'm
2.
going
Did you fall on your head, Totri?
No,
I'm
but
going
I've
Cardinals
started
one.
the Seattle
John
defense over the last
Wolford
2
is
weeks.
It might start at quarterback.
Yeah, the Rams
Not
are
to
bad,
talk ill of
and
an
they're going with
Arizona
a backup
hotshot,
quarterback.
but
Give me the Seahawks. The Bucks haven't been able to put in the end zone.
I think
for
the
some
Bucks
time.
might turn around. Plus, there's nothing worse than waking up in the morning and seeing your defense has allowed 21 points in the first quarter when the game's in Germany.
Yeah, I
So,
want nothing to do with
Go
that.
That's the first
Cardinals,
game that I
second
will
score.
wake up for. That's been
Yeah.
across the world.
yeah, across the
Giselle's
world.
family is
Across
in
the world.
Germany?
Flosaurus.
Is Giselle's family in Germany?
Flowosaurus. I'm gonna say it's Flowosaurus. Flowosaurus says rank these guys in week 10. Need to start 3. Swift, Jamal, ETN. I like how you spelled ETN, just ETNN.
Oh, that's fun.
Foreman, Mostert, Kareem Hunt.
Ooh.
I think number 1 is definitely Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm staying away
I
from
would
Foreman
say-
because I don't know what is going to happen with Chuba Hubbard back. Like,
I
he
would-
had a big week last week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ETN 1, Mostert 2, Swift or Jamal Williams 3. I think Swift is almost out of the necessity in Detroit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just say, because he said he's leaning Foreman, be cautious with that.
I'm going ETN 1, Jamal Williams 2, just because he gets so many goal line carries, and then Mostert at 3.
Yeah,
What do you
I'm
guys-
I'm the
with
same
Shane.
way.
What do you guys think of the Mostert Wilson situation? Isn't it so weird that Mike McDaniel's just like, let's build the exact same offense I had in San Francisco,
I didn't even think
collect
about
all
that.
of the running backs. He's a robot. He has to be.
He's too cool to be
anything
right.
Thanos'
else?
gauntlet is just running backs.
Yeah. Anything else?
Question-wise?
Question-wise, Jacob? Guys, it's been a pleasure. We're here every single Thursday at 2 p.m. We don't do Jeopardy every time. We might have to bring it back soon because that was
Your
a
Jeopardy champion, baby.
good amount
We
of fun.
just need to
Totri,
start a Jeopardy show on
Yeah.
PHNX.
Totri, congratulations.
Trivia
Do I
show,
win
I'll go
anything?
crazy.
Yeah.
Firm handshake?
Oh,
You
wow.
can follow me on Twitter at Shane D. You can follow Shawn on
I
Twitter
felt the smoke
at Shawn
coming
_the
on.
pause. You can follow Totri on Twitter at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Espo on Twitter at Espo. Follow David on Twitter. David, what's your at? David _Rodish. And
Jacob, what's your at?
you can follow
do that
Jacob
to
on Twitter at
Jacob?
Jacob_Franklin4.
Who else is in the room?
_Franklin4. And that's about it.
At
Guys,
Liam Merrill.
thank you so
At
much for
Gerald
joining us.
Bourget.
Woo, woo, woo. We'll see you next time.